you at, Berto?
What's your age?
Why? Does it matter?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm 31.
33.
What's the biggest challenge you run into dating 30-year-old men?
They lie.
They're broke.
Damn. Hating that hoe right off the rip.
You're meeting broke men at 30?
I mean, I'm not meeting them, but there's multiple men out there that are broke.
Okay, there's multiple women out there that are broke. Equal brokenness.
So, so how much income should a 30-year-old guy be bringing in now in 2023?
Ooh.
100K
Over
plus.
100K, yeah.
100K minimum.
And you think that's
Bruh, I've always said this. I'm not mad at a girl that says that she wants to be with a nigga that got money, because put yourself in their shoes. As a woman, would you not want to be with a nigga with money? So I get the sentiment. But what I can't resonate with is you don't make no money. You don't make 100,000 a year. You don't make fucking 50,000 a year. Girl, you don't even make goddamn 10 bucks. And you expect a nigga to make 100,000. It's like you're better off shacking up with a good guy that got good morals, good, good head on his shoulders, a game plan. I'm not saying for you to get with a bum, but get with a nigga with a game plan who's like, yo, this is what I'm about to do. These are my goals. So by the time, a couple years pass, this is where I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna be making this much. You know what I'm saying? Build with a nigga. But nah, y'all ladies be, some of y'all, I'm not gonna say all, but some of y'all ladies be just wanting the finished product. You gotta help build that man, bro. Come on.
it's realistic?
Yeah.
If you put the effortness and the hustle
It's
into
very,
it,
it's very, very possible.
But do you know what percentage of the U.S. is actually bringing in 100K?
I don't know the percentage.
About
but it's
10% probably. Like,
It's less than that, way less.
10%.
Yeah.
So if it's 10% of the U.S., why is that the expectation at 30?
I don't know. We have that question.
How much do you make? I hope he asked that.
Tell us.
Are you yourself bringing in 100K as a woman?
I am. As a
Okay. I mean, again, if that is genuinely the truth, I understand. She is a little bit older, 30. If you at 30 years old as a woman are bringing in at least 100K, I can understand why you wouldn't want to be with a man that's making not at least what you're making. I can resonate with that. But let's just say we agree and believe that they are telling the truth. Most women, just like most men, are not making 100,000 a year at 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are right now living in a new phenomenon where niggas are becoming rich young. But let's not make no mistakes, bruh. Like, don't let society fool you into thinking that you need to have your life figured out by goddamn 20, bruh. Most people will never become a millionaire, right? But most people that do become millionaires probably don't even touch their first million till they 50. Now, that's not to say that you should be sitting around waiting till you turn 50. Get it while you're young, grind towards it, but also don't beat yourself up. You can live a great life under 100K. Not for real. There's people out here that all I know is my mom raised me and 4 kids, including me, making less than 50K a year. Okay? And I came out alright. So now it wasn't super easy. There was hard times, but like that shit, the internet will poison your mind into thinking you can't fucking live a good life in this world, bro.
A woman more, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much more are we talking?
I won't say, but it's more than 100K.
So, as a woman who's making over 6 figures, do you think that makes you easier to date?
No, it's actually harder. So yes, women that are intelligent and make more money than men, it's harder to date.
What's your age?
I'm 27.
What are the biggest red flags in a 27-year-old guy?
Ooh. I actually have a whole list.
Let's see it.
So I started creating this list when I went on dates. So I have a list. It has 64 bullet points on it of all the red flags.
Start listing them.
Gaslighting.
Brother. This shorty walks around with a list. I mean, hey, I don't want to judge too hard, but Jesus Christ.
Ghosting. Not opening the door for me. Placing his phone front side down after he sends a text. That's annoying.
Really? That's kind of funny because me, like, when I'm on a date, I actually do that on purpose, like place my phone front side down, not as a point of trying to hide anything, but as a point to be like, hey, you have my full attention. I am not looking at my phone. I don't even want to see any notifications that are coming in. So ain't that a bitch? Ain't that some type of perspective right there?
Lack of communication. Having plaid sheets. I'm sorry. If you're over the age of 18, you cannot have plaid sheets. No more.
Okay, and now this is where it's like, I mean, she was already a red flag for just walking around with a fucking list. But Jesus Christ, you're not gonna date a nigga because he has plaid sheets? Would I agree that that is odd? Sure. But you're not going to give him a chance if you walk into his room and see plaid sheets on his bed. I mean, at this point, like, just what?
Plaid sheets. Do you have plaid sheets?
I don't know what those are.
Like sheets that are plaid pattern?
No idea.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. Making watching sports a personality trait. Not asking me out on a date first. Not letting me order first at dinner. Treating his parents bad. Honestly, if men have bad relationships with their parents, they're probably going to be bad lovers, you know? Using 2-in-1 shampoo.
Why is that a problem?
What?
2-in-1.
Because you should always shampoo and then condition.
Yeah, okay. A girl starts acting like this, you need to run for your fucking life. Your girl start telling you you are an ain't shit nigga because you use 2-in-1 shampoo. Run. Run for your life. It's getting bad. She's coming for it all. She's taking it all. Run, nigga. Yo, bad.
Your hair. You should let the conditioner sit and soften your hair.
As a dating coach, what's the best advice you have for men and women when it comes on to, finding a partner?
First is for women. You gotta know what you want. If you want a CEO, someone who is financially successful, that guy is not gonna be at 5 o'clock at your house having dinner with you and cooking with the children. So you gotta know, if you want a powerful man is busy. And he's not gonna have that lifestyle of being there at 5 o'clock.
Now, I agree with what she's saying, but me personally, the type of man that I aspire to be, like, I'm all about my work. I'm all locked in. Like, I want, I'm going to prioritize that, but I also want to prioritize that family time and, being present, something that I even have been putting a lot more value into as I've gotten older is spending time with loved ones, and I'm still improving in that area because I'm such a workaholic. Like, bro, one of my biggest regrets in life, like on some real shit, bro, is I look back at someone like my family photos and I'm missing from so many of them because I've sacrificed so much to just content. And, while I'm proud of the things I've been able to accomplish, sometimes you do have to look back and be like, not that it's not worth it, but you be like, damn, I missed out on so much with the people that truly love and care for me. So, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, and I want to get better at that. And, one day when I have my family and my kids, like, again, I know nobody says it's gonna be easy. I know there's gonna be days where a nigga's gonna be tired, but I really want to make sure that I'm present and creating those memories and creating those bonds with with my family. And I think that any man should, because one thing I do know for sure, bro, all that money, all that success, God forbid something bad happens and you sitting alone, like, you know what I'm saying? You in that hospital, boy, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be looking around lonely as fuck. So you want to make sure that family, that family and that love is strong.
Giving her all of his attention 24/7.
Exactly. And if you text him because you feel lonely because you haven't seen him all day, he's going to be busy in a meeting and he's not going to text you.
But wouldn't she also lose attraction if he's always available to her?
Not if you're living in $1 million home. And that's what people need to understand. Women need to decide, what do they want? If they want a provider, if they want to have financial status, if they want to have a good life for their children, and money and status is important, then you're going to be with a type of guy that doesn't have quantity of attention, but will have quality.
And-
but if you want the opposite,
Again, I think there's a lot of truth to what she's saying. Women need to know what they want. They need to understand the sacrifices that come with the different type of guys that they are, going for. But as a man that wants to be successful and wants to reach the top percentage of whatever the fuck, I also believe you can decide to be more present. You can decide to be more intentional. And if that is a part of your priority as a man, it will happen. It will happen because we are capable of doing anything we put our mind to. And that is something that I have proven to myself over and over and over again. So it's not going to be a situation where you can have your cake and eat it too. Like, things will get sacrificed. You will miss certain things. But if you are intentional, it will work out.
if you want a guy who's energetic, who's adventurous, who will travel the world with you, who's there to watch Netflix series, who's cooking with you at the time for dinner, then you cannot expect this guy to be 100% about business.
And the best advice you have for men?
For men, it's the same thing. Men lose it with pleasure. And when it comes to relationships, men need to look for women that they can have purpose with, that they can build something with, and not just the pleasure and the fun and the excitement of the moment. Because men at the end are providers. They are good loving. They do take care of the women, and you want to be with the women who's also in the same commitment that you have. That she's going to be there for you. That she's just not there to be taken care of, but she's a partner. She supports you financially. When things go, when there's a lot of money, everybody's like, ha ha ha. That's pleasure. But when things get tough, they're not there for you.
No, that's big. That's big. You know, I've said this before, but I feel like the queen on the chessboard is a great analogy to how your queen should be in real life. You know what I'm saying? The king, he's the provider. He's showing up. He's taking care of shit. But at the end of the day, if shit gets rough, you should be able to lean on your queen. If you looking around and shit get rough and your queen missing, boy, that's not a good sign. Because the queen is the most flexible player on the chessboard for a reason. Recognize the king can only move in one direction. Forward, left, right, back, one space at a time. But the queen can slide across the board that way, slide across the board that way. You know what I'm saying? The queen is a very flexible, very powerful piece to any kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And that's the basic shit that you learn from just playing chess. So it's like, it's not so much that I want my girl to have to like do X, Y, and Z, but I always want to be with somebody that, you know, if I need them to step up to the plate for us, you know what I'm saying? If I get knocked down, you know what I'm saying? If I grab some battle wounds, a nigga need to go to the back and wrap his wounds. I need to get into some recovery. I need my partner to step up. They're gonna step up, and I feel like that's something that's very important. So you definitely need to be looking for that.
But if you're with a woman who's also committed to your purpose, even when the going gets tough, she'll be there for you.
What's your age?
22.
What's the most challenging thing about dating as a 22-year-old woman?
Finding someone to date.
Hey, Skyer, appreciate the follow, brother.
Why?
Everyone's just like in their own thing, and like no one's really looking for relationships, I feel like, or at least the guys that I've met.
So how would you describe the guys that you've met?
Well, I'll give you an example. So there was this one guy I met, and he was gonna take me out on a date, and I said, okay, great. And he texted me and he goes, okay, meet at my apartment at 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no excuse for that. I feel like as a nigga, look, if you're just trying to clap some cheeks, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge you for it. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck. But on some real shit, if you want a girl to take you seriously, if you genuinely are pursuing a woman, don't invite them to your crib the first date. Like, even if in your mind, for whatever reason, on some immature shit, you think that you're gonna do some cute shit and set up the house a certain way and you wasn't even trying to be like that, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. So I'm not saying you need to go break the bank. I've always said, bro, like, be real with yourself. A good first date could be a picnic, it could be a walk, talk. There could be coffee. And if you got it like that, okay, maybe go nice dinner. Like, but you shouldn't be breaking the bank for the first date if you don't got it like that. But it should still be thoughtful. It should still be something that, you know, have a game plan. You know, yeah, bowling alley, you know what I'm saying? Anything like that. But you inviting a girl to the crib for the first date, the first interaction, I mean, again, if you're just trying to clap, hey, bruh, I'm not judging you. But it is gonna paint a certain picture for sure. I'm happy my nigga Skyer in here though. That's like, if y'all don't know, Skyer, well, it says S Gaspar, that's his name in the chat, but that's like my day one. Like, we went through to middle school together and shit. That's my brother, bro.
That's not a date. You see, that's not what I want.
So what would you? So why is that
It's a major red flag because he just wants to sleep with me.
You don't think that maybe in the man's mind, he's like, okay, let's do that first, and then we could do something else after?
No, but that doesn't make me a respectable woman. And I want to be respectable. So, like, you have to take me out and spend money and invest on me, and then you can get the benefits.
So you're not a respectable woman.
Invest on you is a little crazy. I mean, I feel like I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and fucking say that's not what she meant. But at the same time, it's such a specific word choice. You want a nigga to invest in you? What do you mean by that?
If you pull up to a guy's house at 10 p.m. the first night and then sleep with him.
Yes.
What gave you that mentality?
Experience.
What you mean?
In the past, like, when I've done that maybe like once or twice and in college and stuff like that, and like, I lied, it's not once or twice, but you feel me. And like, that's not true. Like, they never text you the next day, they never do anything, like, they don't see you as a respectable woman. But like, in the like, contrary, when you go on dates and stuff before and like actually make them get to know you, then they're more invested and they want to spend more time with you. So
I think that's true. I mean, again, she's probably not using the best word choice, but if we're calling a spade, I mean, it's true. It's true. As a nigga, you gonna have more respect for her as a woman if she make you chase it a little bit.
Oh, okay. So it's important to make the man invest up front first.
and not even that, just like to get the man hooked on your personality before you give him other things.
Okay.
So I'm gonna invest like a
What issues do you think men run into when it comes down to dating you?
Personally, I think they're intimidated. Maybe they're intimidated or they're emasculated. I don't know.
Would you prefer to be the breadwinner or not?
No, I prefer not to be the breadwinner. No. I want somebody to look up to, somebody that I can grind with, hustle with, that's at my level, that we can both build up with.
Okay. So, what kind of lifestyle should that man be able to provide to you at this point in life?
Whatever I can provide for myself, you better be able to provide for me as well.
So are we talking traveling or what?
I mean, it's more of like traveling, but what I look for is not like, I know it's contradicting, but I don't look for like monetary wise. Like, I look for respect. I look for the things money can't buy.
But surely, oh, she's gone.
She's like, bye.
But surely you're not going to give a man a shot if, he's making $40K as the manager at Moxie's?
Well, I mean,
He's a respectable man.
I'm not trying to be like that I wouldn't, but it's like at the same time, like, what is he gonna do for me if I can already do it for myself? It's like, I would rather a man like do something for himself than have to like come to me and feel like he's not enough,
Right. Okay. So my next question is this.
Inability to cook for himself.
Oh my God, she's still going down the list. She's listed off at least 10 plus.
Doesn't go to the doctors. Men should always go to the doctors for their physicals. Not having a car, not having a job or a stable career, not having a Spotify or Apple Music playlist. If you don't listen to music, you're a weirdo.
She's dead serious, bruh. Again, guys, there's women out here that really act like this. Yo, shout out to Gaspar, my nigga with the gifted sub, man.
I made this yellow too. I made this yellow too.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that for real.
History of cheating, or is actively a cheater. We don't like that. Only drinks Bud Lights or other light beers.
Let's go.
Not paying for dinner. Never buying me flowers.
She's gonna be single forever, bruh. It's scary. Listen to that laugh again, y'all. Listen to it with the music, and you're just gonna see how scary she is.
Not paying for dinner, never buying me flowers, not watching TV shows or movies. That is weird. I cannot.
Not having what? Let me see.
Not having a good, consistent and strong friend group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Run. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Y'all seen that meme before? Run. Da-na-na. She just hates men. Yeah. She, at this point, and the thing is, if we're being objectively honest, like the things that she's saying aren't even like that bad, but it's like, yo, you're not even a real person at this point.
Keep going.
Doesn't wash his face.
Saying Botox and fillers are disgusting?
Yeah.
That's not natural, though.
I know some girls overdo it, but you know, you can't comment on what a girl does all the time.
Can't keep a houseplant alive.
Yeah.
What men do you know are interested in flowers and stuff?
Lots of men are interested in houseplants and flowers, whether it's for their benefit or not.
Doesn't like going out to eat.
Yeah.
Dislikes taking photos.
Yep.
Chews with his mouth open.
That's disgusting.
Does drugs.
Yeah.
What do you consider drugs?
Any of the hard ones.
Weed?
No, that's not a drug.
Marijuana?
Yeah, that's not a drug.
Mushrooms?
Nah, that's fine.
LSD?
That's okay. I don't do
So-
LSD.
Literally, she go on dates and start acting like it's a goddamn job interview on some real shit, bruh.
So psychedelics are cool?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. In 2023, do you think men have higher expectations for women when it comes on to dating? Or do women have higher expectations for men?
I think nothing has changed. I think we all expect the same thing. Men are providers, they take care of women, they are protectors, they expect to be with them women that's highly desirable, that can bear children, and that is young and energetic to take care of them.
So if men are providers, is it outside of a woman's role to want to provide and be the breadwinner for a man?
Not only it's outside of a woman's role, because if you look at the scientific studies, we're not wired that way. But on top of it, when a woman enters the role of taking care and providing for a man, there's a lot of problems that happen in relationships.
Okay. Like, problems like what?
Like, for example, men don't.
I think in the most genuine form, what happens, it's not even, let's give the girl the benefit of the doubt. When the girl becomes the breadwinner, like she genuinely is gonna start looking at you like, why am I with you? Even if it's subconscious, like it might not be a thought that is running through her head word for word, but instinctively it's just like, yo, I'm doing your job. And her instincts are just gonna push towards, I need to leave this nigga, bruh. I genuinely think that's what happens when the girl ends up being the breadwinner in the house.
Don't like to be told what to do. Men don't need moms. They need partners. So the moment a woman is acting as a provider, she also starts acting as she's taking care of you and she's deciding over you, and she becomes like your mom. And no man wants to go to bed or sleep with his mom.
So
Yeah.
she becomes more masculine in that sense.
Absolutely. And it's not masculine because she wants to. It's because the energy of leadership, orchestrating, organizing, providing for another, it is a masculine energy trait.
In a perfect world, how do you want a guy to court you?
Like he doesn't have to spend money. Just take me out, plan something nice. It could be.
It's kind of what I was saying in the beginning, like, just be thoughtful. Just be thoughtful. That's all a first date needs to be, brothers. It doesn't need to be this crazy, extravagant thing where you're spending all this money. Now, it ain't tricking if you got it. You know what I mean? If you really get into that cheese, that munyon, and you want to impress a shorty, and it's not hurting you, I mean, by all means, do what you do. But you also shouldn't feel like you are breaking your back. You shouldn't be looking at your bank account, scratching your head like this. Like, ooh, this shit don't look good. Ugh. Ugh. You know, when the waiter comes over, and with like, y'all need any drinks, any room for dessert? You over here praying that she don't say, well, actually, can I try the... Now your ass hit one of these, turning your brightness down on your phone like trying to do the math and shit. Like if maybe if I move the money over. Come on, I'm telling you from experience. These days that's not the case. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't been that nigga before, bro. You don't want to be that nigga, bro. So go ahead and see if I can overdraft on some shit. Yeah, go ahead and just play within your means of shit. Don't try to impress and set expectations that you can't keep up with. Because before you know it, your ass gonna go broke, nigga. And she's still gonna leave your bitch ass. Huh?
The beach, it could be a restaurant, a park, like nothing crazy. Just show that you put effort and time into it and you want to get to know me.
You really think a man can do those things without dropping a dime on you?
Yes, they have.
Okay. Give me an example.
Well, this one guy took me out to the beach. We went to the beach and then we went to a park where they were giving one of those community yoga classes. And we did a community yoga class and then we went back to his house and cooked.
But that was just one time, right?
Ooh, took him back to yeah, they was cooking. It was cooking, Huh? He was cooking. Cooked.
Well, no, and then the next time we also went to the beach and everything like that. But like, obviously, like, in the world of courting, you're gonna have to spend some money.
Okay. So realistically, long term, it's not gonna last if he doesn't start dropping some, right?
Yes.
Realistically, it sounds crazy when she says it out loud, but realistically, I mean, listen, bro. If you as a guy, I don't think you need to break the bank to impress a woman. I already said that. But if you are stressing money to the point where you're thinking like, bro, I can't even take no one on a date. Thank you for the follow. Then it's just, don't even put yourself through that, bro. You're not ready for a relationship. You can't afford it. And that's okay, bro. That's okay. That's okay. It might suck, especially if you're kind of in that mode where you feel like you just want some companionship. But I'll tell you this, man. That solitude, that time alone where you're really just focusing on yourself. Those are the best times for you to lock in and make some shit shake. You can convert your energy. That feeling that you feeling in your chest. When your chest is feeling heavy and you want to make some shit shake, and it's just like you feel like the world is on your shoulders. You can curl up into a ball and cry like a little bitch. Or you can convert that energy into something great. So it's all about perspective, bruh. So if you want to be in a relationship, but you just genuinely can't afford that shit, I get it. It sucks. I'm not going to sit here and act like it don't sucks. But I mean, you got to convert your energy. You got to convert your focus. Okay, you want a relationship with my nigga, you need to invest more into yourself. So maybe one day you can afford it.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be like an insane amount. Like I don't need a Gucci and a dinner at Swan. Like something simple would be fine. But like obviously if you're gonna get me Burger Fight, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, she seemed like a cool girl. She, I hear with this particular girl, she's like on the fence of going full on feminist or some shit. Like we can hear she's almost over the edge, but she still got some good in her, bro. I don't think she's too far gone. I feel like what she's saying for the most part is pretty respectable, and she's not saying that she want a nigga to break the bank on her. She just want a nigga to try, and I think that's cool. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a nigga trying. Okay, I think that's fine.
Okay, I got you. All right. Let's see. Do you think 30-year-old men want women who are in your age category or younger?
From what I've experienced, honestly, if you're in the right mindset, you're going to look for someone at your age or older. If you're at that fuckboy mindset, you're going to look for the 19, 18-year-old. So, I mean, it's just really where your mindset's at.
Well, what?
That's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit. It has nothing to do with that. I think it's just more like, and I really do apologize. I hope it doesn't get taken the wrong way when I say this, but when they say you can't teach an old dog new trick. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to older guys, they don't want to deal with an old dog, bro. And I know how that sounds, but it's just like older women have more baggage. They have more shit going on. They have potentially more problems. They potentially have kids. They potentially have another baby daddy in the picture. And I think when you genuinely look at it objectively, as an older guy, you're gonna be thinking to yourself if I go for someone younger, I just might not have to deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you a young nigga, I see you in the chat talking about let me find an older woman. Yeah, that's a young nigga mentality. Let me find an older woman take care of me or some shit. And that's what ends up happening. Some of these older women that were rejecting the good niggas that was trying to get them the whole time, they end up hitting that wall, fucking 30 plus with a couple of kids, and nobody their age wants them because they was playing hard to get the whole fucking time. Now they have to go younger and deal but the problem with that is they end up being kind of like what bro said earlier, almost, or what Shorty in the blue dress said earlier, is they almost kind of play that mommy role where it's like, all right, I guess I'll have to take care of this nigga for him to be my boyfriend when you a younger nigga dating the older woman. But then in the guy's standpoint, it's like, why would I go for the woman that's been rejecting me this whole time when I could just go talk to somebody that's willing to just take me as a fresh start? Again, bro, it's not that black and white for everybody. Like every situation is obviously gonna be different, but speaking in a general way, that's usually how it plays out, bro.
Does the mindset have to do? Well, what does having a fuckboy mindset have to do with him picking a woman who's significantly younger?
I feel like that makes a difference. If you're out there being a fuckboy, you're not wanting a relationship. You're wanting to just date and like fuck around. And if you're actually trying to find a person, like your person, your significant person, you're actually gonna have, expectation, values, morals that you're gonna look for in the other person.
But But don't most younger women desire older men because of the things that they can provide for them?
I mean, I guess you could say that, but like maybe at a younger level when they don't have,
I feel like she's a perfect example. I don't want to say she's hit her wall, but she's played hard. If I'm guessing, I'm assuming, I don't know this woman, but I feel like the energy she's given is she's played the hard ball, bruh. And now, again, she's making her money, she's doing whatever she's doing, but eventually she's gonna start looking around like, I don't want to die alone. I want to be with somebody. And that shit gonna start going out the window. She gonna start fucking being like, you know what? I'm gonna go get that nigga making $50K a year a chance.
can't provide for themselves or they don't know what they want out of life. But if you are talking to a more mature woman, it's not that they're looking for an older person. They're looking for someone at their mentality level.
There's some truth to that. I can appreciate the fact that a nigga might not want to deal with somebody's immaturity, but that's not the only factor that they're going to be looking at either, though.
Doesn't have a wallet, but instead uses a clip to hold his cards and money together.
Yeah.
Why is that a red flag?
The clip is weird because what if like things like
Bro, I do not fuck with this girl. Get her off my screen, bro.
like fall out of it?
I got a clip on my wallet.
You're a red flag. All right.
Lacking confidence.
Yeah.
Assuming you're together if he hasn't even asked you.
Yeah, you have to ask me to be your girlfriend. You want me to be your girlfriend.
What's number 58 say?
Baby
58?
talk or talking like I can't say that.
Talking like a what man?
No.
Baby or talking like a gay man. That's what it says. So why is a feminine man unattractive to you?
No. It's not femininity in a man. I think men should have a degree of femininity. It's when...
Talking like a woman.
Yes.
Okay.
But in a very specific tone. I'm referring to tone.
Clammy hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't clip his...
I have clammy hands. Every girl that's ever held my hand and it'll be like, ew, your hands are sweaty. I know. I'm sorry. And it's not because I'm nervous, bitch. I just be sweating. Goddamn.
Fingernails.
Gross.
Drinking problems.
Nasty.
Smelling bad.
Of course.
What should never be discussed on a first date?
I think on a first date, we should be focusing on having fun. Like a lot of people, men and women, they go to the first day like with a lot of expectations and want to make sure that in a very short conversation, is he the one, is he not the one, does he make money, does he not make money? What about his friends, what about his life? And on a first date, we should really be focusing on only one thing. How do we feel? Is it fun? Is it easy? Because it's wrong.
This is good advice. Definitely on the first date, it never needs to be that deep. And I've said this before in videos where it's like, you really should just be trying to make the shorty feel good. And if you're, a girl watching this, making the guy feel good. Y'all should be laughing. Y'all should be just having a good time. Nothing needs to be that deep. Now, is it cool when you can get into a deep conversation where it feels meaningful? For sure. And those are moments that you are going to remember. But I feel like what's most important is getting each other to let y'all guard down down and actually have a good time, laugh, enjoy, be able to close your eyes and be like, that was fun. I genuinely had fun. You know, you don't want to get on the first date and goddamn start trauma dumping like, oh yeah, I'm dealing with this, it's making me depressed, I'm having this problem at home. It's like, nobody wants to hear that shit. Motherfucker, I don't even like you like that. I just thought you was cute. You know what I'm saying? And it goes both ways. So that's big.
Romance. And I think we've lost that ability.
So, what shouldn't be discussed?
Nothing that, like, do you want to discuss the war? Do you want to discuss politics? Do you want to discuss your wound from the past or what your boyfriend did or why you haven't met someone?
What about the future?
There's no future to be had with someone that you still haven't experienced. It's a first date. I say talk about the future on the third day because you still want to go out with the person.
So it's too much of a heavy topic to discuss those things.
Absolutely. You want to talk about the weather, about what you're doing. It's like a child. You want to...
Don't talk about the weather. Don't. I mean, if it comes up, it comes up. But I'm pretty sure on the first date, if the first thing that comes out your mouth is, so how's the weather today? She's going to be looking at you a little awkward. Okay?
Be in discovery mode, in excitement mode. That's what a first date should be about.
Okay. At 30, what are your expectations for a first date?
My expectations for a first date is,
I'm very curious to hear what she says.
honestly, it's, for the mentality to be there. Like, don't come at me, like, with some bullshit. Like, be yourself. Don't come with a mask.
Okay.
Be you.
So so don't hold anything back.
Don't hold anything back. Be who you are, because I feel like, on the dates that I've gone, there's masks. There's plenty of masks.
But is there anything that just shouldn't be discussed or brought up on a first date?
On a first date, I feel like nothing like monetarily should be brought up. Like, I feel like it's more of like getting to know the person, like each other, getting to know each other, like who they are, what they like, where's their mentality at. Because from that first date, you should know whether you want to go on that second date or not.
I mean, the only thing that I agree with is from that first date, yes, you should know whether you want to go on a second date or not. But again, I think I resonate way more with what Shorty in the blue dress said. Like, it's more about having fun, bro. Me personally, the way I like to do shit, I kind of already have an idea of who you are before we even get on the first date, because I'm not really Now, I'm not saying that this is law. I think you definitely can go more into maybe not a blind date, but kind of not really knowing who it is you're going on a date. Like, I know there's niggas out there is like, they'll just go get a girl's number and then, by the end of the week, they're in a date. And I think that's a fine method. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But me personally, just because I don't like to waste my time, I like to actually, before I even get on the date, have a couple of FaceTime calls, text for a little bit, get to know them that way in the more boring way, so that, again, when we're on that first date, it's just about feeling good, letting our guard down and just having a good time. I think that's what's most important for the first date.
And monetary-wise, how much should a man spend?
Honestly, I'm that type of girl. Like, if you're going to take me to tacos, cool, I'm down with that. Because my thing is, like, a mentality level. Like, if you're, like...
Okay, this just might have saved her, because I was like, you're a little extra, man.
If your mind is there, like, I don't care how much you spend.
Okay. So I could say Chipotle or walk in the park.
Let's go.
Okay. Hey, I fuck with that. And that just, again, gives me a little bit more respect for her, course. It's like she has a standard for herself, because, again, she's made it to a certain point in her life. She's like, look, man, I'm making money. I don't want to date a broke nigga. Okay, I get it. And your options are dwindling as you get older, but you also aren't like a shallow motherfucker that can't, give a nigga a chance and get to know him. And I feel like one thing that I hate about like all the red pill and the blue pill stuff and the alpha, they try to make everything so black and white when people are not that black and white. Like there's things you might like about me, but then there's also things that you might dislike about me. And the reality is, you as an individual get to weigh that out, weigh the pros and cons, and be kind of like, you know what? I'm willing to deal with this nigga's bullshit because there's enough things that I like about this person, you know. But I feel like, you know, if you watch a lot of these content creators of the videos, they try to paint it to where it's like, oh, they do this one thing, you're done. Don't fucking fuck with them. You know what I mean? And that's just not how people actually are. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. There's gonna be people that you really like, but there's still gonna have shit that you don't like. And the reality comes down is, when it comes to this relationship shit, is, are you able to tolerate that person's bullshit? And are they able to tolerate your bullshit? Because trust me, my nigga, you have some bullshit too.
Be a coffee or walk in a park, let's go jogging, whatever, you know? It also shows me like another side of the person. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to take me to eat. You don't have to take me on a coffee. If you want to say, let's go jog, okay, let's go jog. Yeah.
Perfection. What's your name, by the way?
Giovanna.
Giovanna.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Real quick. Hey, baby.
Why'd you move?
Because.
Oh, well, it looks like this might be the end of the video. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And definitely give me some feedback on whether you agree or disagree what I had to say about what these ladies were talking about tonight. At the end of the day, man, nobody's perfect. Everybody's a little bit different. And you just got to figure out if you're willing to deal with that person's skeletons in the closet. But just take into consideration that they're going to have to be thinking about yours. You know what I'm saying? My name's Berto. I love y'all. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the end of the video. So you might want to join the Twitch so you never miss a live stream. And I'm gone.
Where you at, Berto?